Guys, and I was just investigating why the inventory wasn't working properly when we add in the item. Is because, let me just show you what I did here. Is because before, right, we were doing something like this. We're just setting up, we adding the item straight away to the items array. So when we come in here, the item is being added as a 0, and then if you add this again, it's 3. Because at that point, we only have the 3 here, because we're not setting up the quantity here. So what you're going to have to do here, very simple, nothing too complicated. So if you see here, where is the item coming from, right? We're setting up the item straight away here. So from this node here, if you don't have the node, just double click on the line. We're going to call a method there called set members in st item. Make sure you select the stack, right? So you got the stack selected. And what I'm going to do here is from this false, I'm going to plug it in here. And then from here, I'm going to plug it in there, right? And then where it says 0, which is a stack, remember that we have a variable called quantity to add that we created in there. You could just do here, or because I like to keep it clean, I'm just going to make sure it's like this. And right now, I'm just going to comment this to say add brand new item. And then in here is going to be update item, right? Cool. So if I compile and save, now if I press play, we should be able now to see as we add that here to 2. If I come back in there, and then is also 2 and 5 there. So it's actually increasing the size of those items, which is basically what we're looking for. So our inventory at this point is kind of working properly where we're adding the items now. So now we have just a problem that I want to fix before I finish this video, which if you see here, as I add the item, nothing happened. I don't have any, it's not actually doing anything. So we kind of have to make sure that we are updating those items in there as well. Right, so what I'm going to do here, there's a couple of ways you can actually do this. I think the best way we can actually do that, I'm not sure if that's going to work 100% sure. Let's try. So available items, we can cast this to something called, where in the replication, we can call this rep notify, which means that whatever happened with this array, we want to trigger a function. So if you go ahead and click this and go here where it's saying on rep notify item available, if you double click on this, it's just a brand array. So if I just do a print and just do a simple print string, I'm just going to print something here for now. It doesn't matter what we print, just so we can actually see something happening. The way this works is basically saying that whatever happened with this array, print me that number, that whatever is in there. So if I press, if I get the item, nothing happened. Okay, so that won't work. I think it's because we have to somehow, I'm just gonna unmark this to make sure it's none. So let's do it in a different way then. Let's just gonna delete this on rep notify. It's because it's not working because we kind of have to use some kind of multiplayer where the server needs to tell the client. So for now, let's do it in a different way. So if you check in the event graph, we have the place where we actually open up the inventory and do all that stuff, right? So you open and close the inventory here. Remember this inventory, if I select this here, that is where we actually populating the items. Remember that we have created a function called populator update inventory items, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click in anywhere else here. I'm going to create a custom event, and I'm going to say reload inventory, right? And I'm going to hook this this node in here, and then I'm just gonna call reload start or reload inventory. Yeah, make sure you call that, or you can call a different name as long as it makes sense, right? And then from the event constructor, I'm just going to call start or reload inventory. So it's going to call that. So this is going to start or reload the actor inventory, right? Put it in here, and this is going to call a function and do all sorts of stuff, right? The reason why I am not calling this event straight away is just because I want to make sure that this event runs on the client. By default, and make sure it's reliable as well. Everything related to UI always run on the client machine. Means it runs on your local machine. It's not going to run on the server, not even if you want to. If you want to run something on the server, you have to run on a player controller or in the player palm in a game controller. But let's do it like this for now. So it's doing that, and here, if you notice, we have something called add inventory item that will do a couple of things here for us, right? So I want to create here another function that we're gonna call here reload inventory widgets, right? And I'm just gonna put this here. And this reload inventory widgets, remember that we have the reference of the inventory in here because we have created this. So I am just gonna go back in here. I'm gonna open up the inventory, the widget there. I'm gonna drag and drop main inventory widget here. And I am gonna call a method, it's called start or reload inventory, yeah. So it's gonna call start or reload inventory, nice. And I'm gonna plug this here for now. That's all you needed to do, right? Because we're going to be using this function in the future to reload maybe slots or anything you want to reload, really. So we're going to be probably using this guy to do those reloads. So we're just going to make sure everything is one place. So we can call one function to do a domino effect and affect everything else. Right, so the way you're actually going to trigger this function, if you go back to the inventory here, what I want to do is I want to make sure that every aspect of our code runs through this function after. So I'm going to get a reload here. I'm going to plug it in there. I'm going to make sure that this also runs in from here. And then it goes back to the return node. And we can actually delete this for now. Right. So if I press compile and save, press play. Now, if I have my inventory open, come in here and collect something. Oh, that did not work properly. Let's check why that actually did not work. So I want to make sure that this goes in here and it runs the load or whatever with the inventory. So this will run this function. Let's check why this is actually not working. So I'm gonna just put here on the inventory. I'm just gonna toggle the breakpoints. Press play. Let's see what's gonna happen. So I have the inventory open, comes in there, go here. So it's returning the widget, adding the item to the log, and then pressing play. So it's not actually populating our item there. So let's check here. So it's adding the item. Hi guys, and so I was just doing some debugging here, and the issue why that's not loading is because it's actually something very simple. It's not something very complicated. It's because we have to kind of pass the updated quantities to this lot. So what we have to do here is, if you check in here on the inventory main, we have available items, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I am just gonna get the main widget. I'm gonna set available items to whatever is our available items on the main inventory. So I'm just gonna put it like this. Compile and save. There's another thing as well that is nice to do is when you go here to the start reload and that function populate, just make sure you call clear children on the grid. Yeah, so let's go. Let's go ahead to do it with you guys. So make sure you get a grid there, or is in here. Just call the method clear children's, just because you may have some outdated data. So it's always nice to have that working fresh. So So now if I compile and save this, and then press play here, as I get the item 2, 5, and that works as well. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's all this video, this part of this tutorial. This is another one that got extremely long. I'm really sorry for that. I'm trying to do those more shorter, but this is such a very important part and such an important piece of work that we kind of have to make it to do. It needs to be a longer video so we can actually cover the whole thing in one. But yeah, at this point, this is starting to look like an inventory. So in the next video, we're gonna doing some stuff like as you hover the item and display the name, just more UI custom things. And then maybe we can do like a menu, like we can drag and drop or something like this. But yeah, let's start to do that on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, if you got any loss during this video, just go back and rewatch, because this is a very important part of our inventory system. Yeah, so see you guys around.